Howdy! Welcome to Aspire Mount Academy. I'm Professor Curtis, your instructor for this course in Introductory Statistics. In less than 10 minutes, this video presents the procedure for performing a complete regression analysis and shows how to use Statcrunch to make predictions with linear regression. Let's get started. So, we've looked at in previous mini lectures some important tools that we can put in our statistics toolbox. And linear regression is one of the more powerful of those tools. But just because you can make a model doesn't mean it's the best model to be using. And it doesn't mean that you could be using it for making predictions. So, look at the advisement, the caution that's listed here on your screen, and pay close attention. Never, and I mean never, and never is a long time. Never perform linear regression and then just run with the model. You've got to make considerations when using this tool from your toolbox. First, you never want to just make the model without first making a scatter plot. Scatter plot tells you so much about the data, where the data is, and the relationship of data points to each other. It's also good for looking for outliers. So, outliers show up really good on scatter plots. And once you identify outliers, then you can dig in the data, find out where do they come from, why are they here? And, once you answer those questions, then you can present justification for leaving them in or taking them out and making the best model that you can. So don't just take data, dump it into technology like Statcrunch and then, run away with the model. Model may not be the best model you can make, and it also may not be fit for use, even if it is the best model that you can make. Second, you want to construct a residual plot. Confirm what you're seeing in the scatter plot. Verify there's no regular pattern to the data, and the residual plot does not become thicker or thinner, as your textbook author would say. You can use a histogram or a normal quantile plot to confirm that the values of the residuals have approximately normal distribution. This is important for residual plot analysis because it's one of the assumptions for the analysis method. So your residual plot could be misleading if the residuals themselves are not approximately normally distributed. So you want to check for that. And then consider any effects of a pattern over time. When you're looking at a scatter plot, you're looking at the data that has values as of the moment it was collected. So just because a data point has a certain value today and appears in a certain position on your scatter plot today doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever. Tomorrow it could have a different value. Tomorrow it could move to a different position on your scatter plot. So consider the effects of patterns over time. Just because something's one way today doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. So some of your homework problems are going to ask you for the best estimate for a given x value or prediction interval. And there's a way in Statcrunch that you can use to actually get at the answer that you need to provide. If you make the model, go into Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. Put your x and y's in, and then if you're actually making a prediction, make sure you put in the appropriate prediction level. This is like a confidence level on a confidence interval. Same sort of concept, except now you're making a prediction. Once you press compute, okay, so there's the prediction area for your linear regression analysis. So if you need to use that, feel free. Just put the x value in that you want to predict for, and out comes a predicted y value there in your results. And you can see the predicted y values there at the very bottom of the results. So it's below the ANOVA table. So here we have our linear regression correlation coefficient at the top. Here's our R-squared value. Here's our p-value. Here's our true test statistic. And then here's a predicted value. Statcrunch calculates it for you. So you don't have to calculate anything by hand if you don't want to. Statcrunch will do it all for you. You just have to know where to put numbers and where to get them. Of course, the prediction interval is what we're really looking at. So, we're 95% confident that the true value of the prediction lies within, this given range. So, it's somewhere inside that range. Let's go back to our previous example to illustrate what we've learned here about complete regression analysis. So here we have the example from lemons and car crashes, and we're asked for the explained variation, the unexplained variation, and a 95% prediction interval for crash fatalities if the weight of imported lemons is 300 metric tons. So first, the explained variation. We get this from the ANOVA table. So go to Stat, Regression, Simple Linear. Tell Statcrunch where your data is located. Press Compute. Out comes your results window. The ANOVA table is what we're going to be looking at here. So the explained variation is the sum of the squares for the model. This number is located right here. This is the explained variation. So if you're asked for it, just get your ANOVA table and read that value right off the ANOVA table. The unexplained variation is also on the ANOVA table. It's this number right below the explained variation. Then, of course, the total variation is what you get when you add the explained and the unexplained variation together. Notice the 0.544 and 0.047 add up together to give you the 0.592. What is the 95% prediction interval for crash fatalities if the weight of imported lemons is 300 metric tons? So for this, we're going to go back into our options window and go down to that predictions area and stick in 300. So down here in the prediction area, we're going to put in 300. It asks for a 95% prediction interval. That is the default value there for the prediction level, so we don't need to make any changes to it. Sometimes you won't be given a prediction level, in which case, just leave that alone. The default of 95% will be just fine. Press Compute, and out comes our predicted values underneath the ANOVA table. Here's our prediction interval, the lower and upper limits. You can just pull that right off the table. No need to adjust anything. And that brings us to the end of this mini lecture. I hope you found it helpful. You can find more mini lectures for this and other courses at AspireMountainAcademy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.